Hello YouTube world, my name is Craig, KC1ETB. I've been a ham for about 2.5 months, so I'm still learning a lot of this stuff, but wanted to take an opportunity to do a video for this really cool battery adapter that I found. It was recommended to me by some other hams. What you're looking at here is a product called the BatPac M4, and it's from Hardened Power. And basically what it does is it allows you to directly connect to a 12-volt battery. This one happens to go to a 12 amp or 15 amp battery. As you can see, it's currently attached to my box, and this is the battery that I'm running. It's a that's in the way there. So it's a 120 150K, so it's basically it's a 15 amp hour battery running at 12 volts. And what's really cool about this is that they make it very simple to attach. So you can see the terminals here on the battery. The device literally slides on to the battery terminals. You have to do a little bit of finagling. The terminals on the BatPac are adjustable. I'll take those off in a minute so you guys can see them. But basically what's nice about this is that one side is fused and the other side is unfused on your power pole connectors. And this right here is your fuse. And they put a nice little cover on it. So you can take that fuse off. It's a standard blade type of fuse. I think it's rated at 25. I think it's a 25 amp fuse. I'll have to double check on that, but you can see it on their website. And you notice it has the perfect form factor for covering the radio. It doesn't hang over really anywhere. It's very nice plastic. It's hardened plastic, so it's pretty durable. And what's really nice about it is it has two USB ports in the front, and you also have a rocker on-off switch. And then you have your two Anderson power pole connectors. One's fused and one's unfused. And they tell you which one's fused right here. Just you can see where it says fused and unfused right there. So if you want to hook up your radio equipment, you just use the fused side, or excuse me, the fused side, which is right there. And the unfused side, you can actually hook up to a second battery to run it in parallel and get twice the amperage, the amp hours out of it. So I could hook this up and get 30 amp hours. And the guy at Hardened Power was very nice. He did explain to me that, while he would like you to buy one of these per battery, you can still cheat, and not really cheat, but you can compromise and hook up a second battery in parallel without buying a second unit. But to me, I would say I probably will get another one of these for my for my other battery. The one feature I do love about this thing is it does have a built-in voltmeter right there, and it's basically you turn that on via the switch, the rocker here. And so as you can see right now, my battery has 12.4 volt charge on it. I've been using it today for my AriesNet check-ins, and for the first time ever, I was able to report on battery power, which is very cool for me. But I like the product a lot. I would highly recommend it. The company is, it's not like they're a small outfit, but very, very nice and very supportive and very helpful. I can't recommend them enough. But I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and show you guys how to take this thing off and put it back on.
Okay, so as you can see, here's my
right now. I'll be right
battery
back.
without the battery, the BatPac M4 on it. You can see the standard terminals right there, and they're nice and nice and labeled, which is nice. Red and black, pretty obvious. And then here's your terminal here on the BatPac. They make it pretty foolproof. They assume the orientation on the poles there, so you don't have to worry about figuring that out. But so this is the back, this is the bottom side of it, and they do give you these little Velcro straps that actually strap around the battery itself to hold it in place. But as you can see, it's fairly thin. It's not too bulky at all. It weighs maybe 5-6 ounces. It's not very heavy at all. Like I said, it's durable plastic. So basically, I think the most difficult part was, I'm going to try to do this with one hand. I'm not sure how well this is going to work out, is lining up the battery terminals. I'm going to have to stand up and do this, I think, so forgive me. So as you can see, the terminals line up. So you just get them to slide on both sides. There we go. So on both sides. I'm going to have to just use my hands here, so you're going to slide that forward. And now you can see it's on. So, sorry it wasn't the greatest video in the world, but there it goes. So I slid it off. Now it's all the way back on. And see? So it comes off fairly easily. So, there's one. Oh, he slid under. he's on and he's on. You see? So I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. Slide it forward. Yep, I think he slid off on me. Like I said, that's about the only tricky part, but those little terminals are adjustable. So you can see, looks like it's on. And looks like he's on. So slide him forward. And he's all the way on. So as you can see, they're already all the way connected. And just to verify, I'll turn the switch back on. And boom, we're back at 12.4 volts. And like I said, the one nice thing that I haven't played with yet, but is pretty handy, is you got the USB ports here. So, you can charge your cell phone and other devices with it. And just to prove that it does work, you can see my Kenwood here is currently on, and he's plugged into my power supply right there on the Anderson power pole. So what I'm going to do is on the bottom one, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my radio off. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug. And then I'm going to hook him up to the fused side, which is this guy here. Because it's redundant, I know, because my Kenwood also has fuses, but I guess never safe than sorry. So I'm going to set this down. And let's see if I can cheat here. And make sure you go red to red and black to black. And plugged in. So now you can see he's plugged in. And reach over here. And he's on. So, it's like I said, it's handy. This would be great for a field day or a go bag, whatever you want. I would highly recommend it. And like I said, I didn't put the straps back on here, but you just strap it down and it's good to go, and go from there. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a second battery and I'll plug it in parallel. According to the Hardened Power people, it should read the voltage that's across both batteries. So I'm gonna stop the video. Okay, so I'm back. As you can see, I got my second battery here. And built my cheesy little cable, power pole cable to the with the power blade, connector. I'm not sure what you call those. I guess they're called battery connect terminals. So that's plugged in, and he slides all the way down here to my power pole connector that I built. And you can see it's the same make and model of battery, so it's a UB12150K. It's the same exact one that I have over here. I've been told that you really should keep the batteries identical if possible, same make and model, as much as possible. That way you're, hopefully you're not going to cause any problems with the voltage differences and, things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn off the BatPac, and we're going to hook this guy up. And I'm going to hook this up to the unfused side, so that way we can, make sure that we do get transfer of battery. And what's nice is that you can also charge the series as well. And, by plugging, this guy over into a power supply that I have there. So you could charge both batteries as well. I'm not too sure how their charger works, if it's a true trickle charge, or if it's just, keeps charging until it, you blow the battery up. I assume it's a trickle charger, but you'll have to look up on their website to double check that. But I'm going to go ahead and plug in and, get that going. And, so I'm going to try to set this down. Yep, actually, I'll reach over here and pull this up. So here's my connector. So there's my red to red, black to black. Probably should try to have some sort of handy dandy connector here. This is not easy to do with one hand, by the way. So plug him in. Come on. And now we're on. As you can see, I went up to 12.5 volts from the 12.3. So this battery is fully charged, and this one is not. I've been using it this morning for my AriesNet check-ins. But you can now see that I have two batteries plugged in parallel using the BatPac connector. So it's it's a pretty slick little deal. I dig it. I mean, they also say that if you bought a second BatPac for this guy, you could use the two unfused connectors right to each other and not have to worry about having your cheesy This is like literally my first power pole cable I ever built, so it's not the greatest in the world. Need to buy, I think, want to buy some shrink tubing for it, but because it's so far apart, I'm not sure if I necessarily need to do that. But I'm still learning. Like I said, this is a good video, I think, for me, my first attempt, and my first attempt to pay back the hobby for all the help I've gotten. And as you see, I have a pretty, I don't want to say ghetto, but pretty small setup here. There's my Mirage 2-meter amp. Does 2-meter and 440 both. And it'll pump it from 35 watts, which is what my Kenwood puts out at low power. Put it out up to 160 watts, which is nice for hitting those far away repeaters. And it does give me, extra gain. And then my antenna up on the roof is a Diamond X50, which gives me about 4.5 dB of gain at 2-meter. But this is my 2-meter rig, and it does a good job for me. I'm going to be upgrading the antenna later this spring, probably to an X510. Friends of mine have told me that gets you better reception and better transmitting range. So definitely want to do that. But this is about it for my current video. I appreciate your listening, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And this is, I'll say 73s to everybody. This is KC1 ETB. Craig signing off.